In this video, I'm going to talk about meal timing myths that are simply just not true. Like how many times do I need to be eating, meal frequency, how much protein per meal, and fasted workouts, are they beneficial or not? So the overall goal for this video is to make fat loss easier for you. So my name's Adam Bunnell. I'm an online fat loss professional, and I work with men around the world in leadership positions, getting them lean using a mechanism of science called metabolic priming. So we've worked with hundreds of men around the world. And if you want to learn a little bit more about what metabolic priming is, there will be an in-depth video pinned on my YouTube channel. So getting right into today's video, I want to kind of debunk how many times do I need to be eating and meal frequency. It's a question that I get very often among new clients that come into our program, and I want to actually debunk it and show you the truth behind it. So, one, calories in a daytime is what matters most, right? The amount that you actually eat per day. So you could be eating one meal of 2,000 calories or 4 meals of 500 calories. It does not matter. What matters is how much you are eating during a 24-hour period. But understanding this, there's a lot of people that use intermittent fasting and maybe they hit a plateau or they don't understand why it's not working for them, but it's because they don't understand how much they are eating, right? So with that being said, there's people that, one, will fast all day or they won't eat all day. They'll accrue a ton of hunger, and at night they'll just gorge and way overeat on calories, right? Because if you're not tracking how much calories, it doesn't really matter. So where it does come into benefit and how it will help with fat loss is that understanding that it does not matter, it's only how much you need to eat during a day's time. You can, one, position yourself to be less hungry, right? It's like for some of my clients or even myself, one, I might not eat till 12 or 1 just because I'm not hungry in the morning, but I'm more hungry in the afternoon. So maybe I position myself to where I'm most hungry and I'm eating when I'm most hungry. Whether that's 2, 3, 4, 5 meals, it doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is how much that you're eating during a day's time. But this makes fat loss easier because the less hungry you are, the longer you can diet and the longer that you feel like you're not dieting. So understanding that it does not matter what time you eat, how much you eat, but how much you eat during the day's time is what really matters. So next, getting into actual protein timing, which is another question I get relatively often amongst our new clients. And I've gotten questions that state, you probably heard of the, statement or the scientific fact that you can only digest 35 to 40 grams of protein per meal, right? Well, the truth about that is if that was true, that would mean that I can eat 100 grams of protein in one sitting, but I only digest and actually use 35 grams or 40 grams of it. So that doesn't really make sense from a scientific perspective when you're thinking about calories being digested, right? That would mean that those calories just don't matter. So what does matter is how much protein that you're eating per day, right? So you could eat 100 grams of protein in one meal, and if your goal was 200 grams per day, then you ate 2 meals, each had 100 grams of protein, that would be perfectly fine. But because what matters is how much per day, the actual frequency, and the myth that you can only digest and consume 35 to 40 grams of protein per meal is just simply not true, and especially when you think about it from a more scientific perspective and a more logical sense as well. So what does matter is understanding how much protein that you actually need to eat per day. And that is what's going to matter and be most beneficial for you, because understanding this will help with making fat loss much easier, because we've came across guys who try to put 35, 40 grams of protein per meal and they're struggling to get their protein in, right? And we simply just take their protein per that meal and increase it, and it makes it significantly easier for them to get a full day's worth of protein in, right? So the next things that we hear very often is fasted workouts. So here's my opinion on fasted workouts in general, and there's an enormous case study that in 2018, over a data meta-analysis, that they actually did a fasted study versus unfasted state study, right? So if you want to check that out, this is going to be the study, Effects of Fasted versus Fed State Exercise on Performance and Post-Exercise Metabolism, a systematic review and meta-analysis. So what they found is they took 2 test subjects, and they gave one test subject food before their workout, and the second they did not, right? And what they were testing is, does it matter for fat loss? Does it matter to be fasted at your fasted workouts for more of a fat loss? And the answer is no, it does not matter. What does matter is your overall performance, right? So what they found is that fasted workouts or being fed, eating before your workout, is simply more psychosomatic, which means it's more what you feel and how you think, right? Me, for example, I have to have food before my workout because it makes me feel good, it makes me feel full, and it helps me get great workouts, and it helps me perform better. But in an hour's workout, it doesn't matter if you're fed or if you're fasted. We have clients that come to us who do fasted workouts and they have amazing energy. And I tell them, if you have amazing energy and your performance is good and you're lifting good weights and you're progressing in the gym, that's fine. Fasted workouts are fine. But if you're someone who, has poor performance in a gym, is it increasing in weight each week, which we track our clients' progression, then you're someone who probably needs to do fasted or more fed workouts. So it's a complete psychosomatic perspective that, a lot of people don't understand or think that you have to be fed to work out, and that's simply just not true. What matters is overall performance, having good energy before the gym, pushing good amount of weights, progressing in the gym with muscle strength, but the actual food that you eat before does not matter. So learning this will help, because a lot of clients who come to us, they think that they have to eat a meal first thing in the morning before their workouts, which is just simply not true, right? And what that does is that spaces their meals out a little bit more, and it's harder for them because they are more hungry throughout the day. But we have clients that come to us who we switch to more fasted workouts and say, hey, let's see how we feel with this, and they progress great, and we keep them on that, and everything's good, but they're happy, they're comfortable, and fat loss is easy. So when we talk about what fat loss is and how we make fat loss easy, it's just the least possible resistance and the easiest way to diet. And that's what we put into our clients' plans, because it's going to be very personal what you do per day and what your overall opinion is. And so it's very personal per person how you make fat loss easy. And there's certain things that you can learn to make fat loss easy and sustain it long term. And that's what we put into our clients' plans. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be posting new videos all the time. On Wednesday, we're going to be debunking a lot of different things that you have heard about carbohydrates. So make sure to turn on your notifications and turn on your alarms for my channel, because on Wednesday, we're going to be posting everything you've ever heard about carbohydrates and unveiling the actual truth about the things you heard. So like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.